Greeting class and professor. Today we're going to go through our presentation, our course project presentation for week Unit 8. Uh, and we're going to be talking about the Bike Sharing Information System Development Project. This is our project that we did the entire course. So uh, let's begin with the, let's go ahead and begin with our actual presentation. So if you have any questions, then we'll go. Uh, you'll be able to answer or ask those questions via our subject post for discussion. Okay, so basically, this project, the whole course line, we had to create and develop an information system for a biking system. So the first thing I want to do, we're going to talk about how I construct a platform and some of the steps that was taking in this process. So basically the techniques that I use and what it's going to be used for is to accept the customer's orders and collect needed deposits to handle other operations for the banking system. Okay, so first of all, the system it's going to create a login registration. Also, it's going to carry information for the bike rental system. Also, it's going to be able to inquire um, time usage of the bike, and also a pickup point location and drop off point. And then we have choices that we'll be able to choose from, far as the pricing structure that's within this system. And some you got the annually, you got daily packages, passes, and etc. So uh, there's a $70 annually. There's a $5 day pass that you'll be able to use. The first 30 minutes within this platform is going to allow you to do to ride the bike free, and then also the system be able for 30 minutes to 1 hour. It's basically $1. Then you're going to have where you're going to have two from 1 to 2 hours. The ride costs $3 or more, and then $7 per ride over the 2 hour period. And then also the system will inquire a late charge if you are over 10 hours returning the actual system. So also the system is going to be, it would include uh, where you can be able to make your payment through the system also. So payment and deposit for your rent, and then some of the methods that are going to be used, be able to accept credit cards, cash cards, other wallets, things of that nature. Uh, Also, within this, the next step will be the IS architecture of the bike insurance system. So basically, the bike insurance system is an information system architect that you'll be able to rent bicycles to the user for short time use. Also, the docks lock bikes can only be unlocked with the computer or enter billing information, and the computer unlocks the bike. So that's within the architecture part of the development. Also, you have the bike insurance software database and hardware, which we'll be discussing also. The bike dock locks are smart design, and they currently activated by the linear activated will, and it will with a power smart lock solenoid. So it's a scannable QR code that'll be used to unlock and lock the actual the product itself. And then each of the dock features a RFID reader, and then a Darien narrow board. Also, I2C Connect Nail to Megaboard. So, and then it's going to be equipped with the GMS system and the GPRS that offers hardware to the service wireless communication to, so you don't have to be hardwired into a system to be able to use. It'll be able to use a wireless type setup. And then also you got the MQTT broker receives and it filters and transmits messages to all registered. So you can see that the system is going to be pretty complex, but usable. Also within this, the servo motor we use in position, basically it's going to feedback and it's going to regulate the motion in position. So, and this is done by digital or analog input regulates the shaft position. So the encoder provides the motor position and the speed, and the position only is instant. And it is pretty much simple. Okay, compared to the result of the controller command, what happens if the output position is wrong, the error signal is sent and it rotates the motor, and the error signal reaches to zero, the motor will stop. So there's some things that's going to be within the system that's going to make sure that's part of the architecture of for the actual motor of that. And then also within this architectural, mobile apps will be applicable to all the functions that is required for this bike system. So from finding the park, finding the location, tracking the time, uh, processing your pay, and then also feedback for user satisfaction. So all of those are entailed uh, within this system. And then also in my presentation, in my PowerPoint presentation, I actually have the system designed, architect bike and design, which pretty much you'll see it within the actual PowerPoint itself. So it goes through all the flow chart for that particular process and function. Okay, and then also within the system, the next part of it be the main security risk and the potential and consequences. So basically within that, these methods are designed to reduce security risks and consequences. So this includes the roles of and the important duties of simple information security management structure. So within that, we'll find it reviews alarms, logs, computers, security, video surveillance, access to that organization for digital security. And then you got your internal and external policy monitoring. So employees and the vendors, they must be cyber security and risk security management to follow these particular policies and compliance to, and the compliance is not really our responsibility, but it's the responsibility of those positions. Okay. And then collaboration across departments, it decreases the risk. And also you coordinate the technology to control the policy across the departments. So that has to be implemented within the organization. And then upgrades, when considering new technology come out, you should be able to apply those upgrades. So that helps to keep the security measures in place. And then in policy and control monitoring, so managers must drive uh, a circular cybersecurity and the policy control auditing, and then also the audit must show what is meant to improve or to correct. So those things that they have to be adhered to and within the policy. And then also every business is required to have a security plan. So any platform should have some type of security plan. And then the IT security manager, there must be guaranteed that the program is tested and it's company wide and it's high level management, and under high level management know their roles within that organization. So the IT management responsibility may be solitary or shared. So that's going to be important also for us to maintain a security risk and potential consequences to help you to manage manage that portion of the whole platform and everything that entails in it. Okay, so also the flow chart, basically the flow chart that I created on my presentation, it kind of gives you the billing scheme. So after completion of a ride, this basically gives you the whole flow process of how everything works. So after the ride, the billing scheme flow chart will include a subscription status check to describe problem solving. The flow chart geometric figures is connected by arrows and despite of action sequences. So you'll see that that's actually on my presentation. Okay, so our biker system will also it would be it is the two main module functionings. So basically, it's going to be a user and an admin interface. So the user could be a customer, client, an event, or a manager. So, and then the interface would be we have the bikes, which would it'll be the bike status, be the model number, type, and we'll be able to retrieve that the client's name, customer name. You have the log in where you'd be able to available for registration, and then also the admin side of it allows the admin user to manage their accounts, and then the user that is registered as the seller client can share information about the bikes and services. So if the user is a customer, then they'll be able to see all available bikes in that particular inventory. So then also within that, you have your billing, your payment and billing method. So through this admin login, the customer can process their payments and and update their payment information within that. Then also you have the uh, whoever the organization is, they have their client employees, which they'll have the name, number, email address, and employee ID number. Then you have the client user, which has a user ID number, email address, password. And then you have the client admin that manage the client admin area. Then you have the admin, which is the will be to manage the admin area of the system. So, and also then again, you have the climate payment billing, which you'll be able to process any of the payment methods that was within the system. So that's going to be one of the things that the in the module functioning part of it. Okay, so but then also to make all of this make sense and make sure that it works, you got to have a database. A database got to be able to uh, uh, retrieve the information that's inputted into the system. So everything has to kind of uh, communicate and have a way of communicating. So this would be done through JSON APIs via uh, non-SQL or relational database. So, and basically what that would do, the way with the flow, which I have this identified on my presentation, it kind of breaks down the structural relational database. So, and how it communicated with each other to make this whole process work. So basically, normalization aims to eliminate the redundancy data. That's where the actual the way the structure of the relation database will work. So in an object of a relational map, it challenged to transform an object to tables, and then it fully normalizes that. It normalizes that data, and the structure stores information in one location, and it reduces inconsistency of data. So that's kind of important. So you'll see that the whole scheme of how the normalized data scheme really works in the flow chart. So it makes it easier for the map to map objects and data access objects. Okay, so that's on my presentation also. And from there, the biker system develop an implementation plan. So basically, everything that we talked before, the pricing, once we implement that, so it passes or offers the annual plan, the daily and the hourly plan, and then without a pass, you get a 30-minute ride or cost. Okay, and then it goes from the structure that I described before, because it's the different price structures that I in my previous presentation part of it. So if the bike is out more than 10 hours, then without a pass, then the user is charged that $50. That's going to be implemented within that system. And then the system bikes, it creates account, register and store data. And the rented bikes allows the consumer to actually check out or return the bike. Okay. And then monitor the number of bikes in facilities, collect payment information, and it tracks time and bike when it's checked in, returned. Okay. And again, and it returns to the bill. When once you check in, check out, and return to bill the customer. Okay, and then again, the hardware and software is it has to be implemented for the power of the share bike system. So this is a centralized client server system, and it needs to be switched to a router, firewall, server, printer, desktop, and tablets, and then also integrated with Windows Office, desktop, Microsoft Office, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and then also some of the other things that the server would handle was joyrides, the IoT, the payment processing, email marketing, the hardware agnostic integrations, and then you got your non-SQL uses of JSON instead of columns and rows. So, and then also you got the Biking implementation would be the bike assurance security protocol, which includes installing the firewalls to prevent unauthorized data access, and then what some of the other things. Also, the firewalls can detect harmful network traffic, okay, to protect the network. It actually protected from Trojan and hackers. Okay. Also, it prevents physical access to data and technology using the physical physical and access of data through technology. Okay. Also, part of this whole security share we explained before in the implementation, make sure we have cameras, alarms, environmental controls, locking the doors, and et cetera, et cetera. And then encrypting and safeguarding data and other options that will help to secure your platform. Okay, and then also some of the things that are tasks that we're going to annotate, which is in my presentation, determine if information is needed in the project scope, then build a seamless front and back end of the system. Also, we're going to first we want to analyze the system and requirements and then create hardware and software structure. Also, installing a bike station in a convenient location to help determine the processes needed to support that operation. So a good example, I live here in San Antonio. We do have places here that have we use scooters and they have biking systems. Same process. They strategically locate them in the most busiest place in the city throughout the metropolitan part of the city. So all of those that'll be part of the implementation also. And then monitoring the device is one of the things that you to keep your assets secured. Okay. Basically, that's it, and that's basically it for the whole presentation. But if there's any questions, please feel free to respond to me on my discussion board. And I hope you understood what I was saying. But like I said, this is my whole presentation for the whole implementation of the biking system and information system. Okay, and then other than that, I got references that's in my presentation, which I will provide all the references I use. I will provide that on the discussion table. Other than that, thank y'all for listening. I hope y'all enjoyed. And I've learned quite a bit in the class. Like I said, some parts were overwhelming, but I appreciate the professor and all the classmates. Thank you so much.